In Cloud Foundation, when deploying application virtual networks for the Aria Suite, two segments get created inside of NSX. The first segment is a local virtual network referred to as the region segment. This segment is for the Aria components that will run locally and that do not need to fail over to the disaster recovery site in the event of a site outage. Components that use the region segment include Aria operations for logs. The second segment is a cross-site virtual network referred to as the cross-region segment. This segment is used for the Aria components that will be configured to fail over to the disaster recovery site in the event of a site outage. These components include the Aria Suite Lifecycle Manager, Workspace ONE Access, Aria Automation, and Aria Operations. To create the AVNs for the Aria Suite, from the SDDC Manager, navigate to the Management domain. Under Actions, select Add AVNs. Note that the selected application type defaults to the VMware Aria Suite. You can deploy AVNs using either overlay-backed NSX segments or VLAN-backed NSX segments. As we want to enable disaster recovery for the Aria Suite components, we will need to use the overlay-backed segments. Prior to deploying AVNs, you must first deploy an NSX Edge cluster in the Management domain. Here, we select the NSX Edge cluster and the associated Tier 1 router, to which we will attach the two overlay-backed segments. We then provide a name, along with the desired subnet settings, for the region network. In this example, the local segment has been named Region, and will use the 192.168.11.0 subnet with a gateway of 192.168.11.1 and with an MTU of 8940. Followed by providing a name and the desired subnet settings for the cross-region network. In this example, the cross-region segment has been named X-region and will use the 192.168.31.0 subnet with a gateway of 192.168.31.1 and also with an MTU of 8940. Review the configuration, and when ready to create the AVNs, click Finish. A workflow is initiated to create the application virtual networks. It will only take a few minutes for the workflow to complete. With the AVNs created, we can refresh the NSX Manager UI, where we are able to see the newly created segments in the network topology. Switching to the vSphere client, we can also see the segments represented as port groups in the vSphere distributed switch. With the AVNs created, we can now proceed to deploy the Aria Suite in our Cloud Foundation instance. Application virtual networks are a software-defined networking construct built on the use of overlay-backed virtual networks created inside of NSX. In this video, we saw how, with Cloud Foundation, we can use the advanced automation capabilities of the SDDC Manager to facilitate the creation of AVNs in preparation for deploying the Aria Suite in a VMware private cloud. To learn more about VMware Cloud Foundation, visit the Cloud Foundation Resource Center at core.vmware.com.